Brown, and I have the pleasure of presenting to you my paper today. In fact, I'm not yet a professor. I'm getting my MBA degree, but I am working with professors on this paper. So as you said, entitled Green Marketing, Greenwashing, and Generation Z, Discovering How and Why the Younger Generation reacts to companies' ecological actions. And so we'll get into the given circumstances of what all these definitions are when it comes to the green market and what you need to understand to get into the issue that we're trying to tackle in this paper. And so the first thing that I'm sure most of the auditors are aware of is this growing market trend for green products. Just between 2009 and 2010, there was a 73% increase in green products that were introduced onto the market, and this is becoming more and more common as we continue forward, especially now with the circular economy models that are trying to be introduced into different large companies. And so there's a green marketing increase as well that comes with this. So how do you convey the message for these products? And so this industry within the United States alone was estimated at 250 billion, but is rapidly growing. And so there's a lot of interest for companies that aren't currently on this ecologically friendly model to veer towards that because there is a economic behind it as well. And so for this paper, a more specific look at this overall trend of green products and green marketing is that there is a difficult to reach segment, which is Generation Z. They are known to be the most difficult in terms of traditional marketing methods, which don't seem as effective for this group because of attention span and their different use of technology. So they are the first generation to fully be developed around technology from the day they were born. And so they use it in a much different way than the other segments. And there are 47% of this segment that say that they change their use of products based on if this product has violated their personal values, which is something that is a bit newer in considerations that need to be taken into account for marketing questions. And so there is this idea behind this entire green marketing phenomenon that is called greenwashing. So this is the big danger, the thing to avoid, of course. And so greenwashing is when marketing efforts of a business actively promote practices, products, or services that do not accurately represent a business's environmental conduct. And so there's a danger in conveying a false message. Oftentimes greenwashing even happens by accident, where there is between the production team and the marketing team a misunderstanding of the process of how something is created. And the consumer, if they find it out, especially the Generation Z, if it goes against their personal values, there's someone to participate in this cancel culture. So their use again of the digital technology and digital tools is especially heightened with social media. So they will amplify their voices and try to make something that they believe is wrong known on a wide scale to the detriment of a company in this case, if they catch someone that is greenwashing. So there's a large danger that comes for a company when they do decide to go towards a green model, and especially with their marketing. And so the learning objectives of this paper are as follows. So to understand and predict Generation Z's purchasing behaviors. And so we want to understand a bit more why and how they're interested in a product, and especially why they would feel more pushed or inclined to buy and participate in the green market. And so looking more specifically into their behaviors, we're trying to understand their motivations as well. And so where is this inspiration coming from to want to buy a green product? Is it something that is a social pressure that they are experiencing, political or environmental, to participate in the purchasing of green products? And we want to learn through this study how to avoid, or what to avoid more specifically, in green marketing campaigns for this segment. So what is something that will not click with the Generation Z target audience? What is something that will turn them away, where other segments might not be turned away, but what is this specific segment, their interactions that change? And then emphasize why attention to detail is critical in this field. So with the results, we really want to really show how one minor detail and one small nuance within a message could change the entire reception. And then detail how to trust, or to build trust and sidetrack any risk of greenwashing. And so it's really that trust factor that is the key. And so how will this be done? So this is the research approach to these objectives. And so the main purpose is to answer how to best market to Generation Z within this green marketing concept. And the main critical theory that is being applied, obviously this is qualitative data that's being gathered, which we'll go into in a second, but is Agen's planned behavior theory. So in this theory, it's something that he actually built upon an already existing theory that was called Martin Fishbein's, sorry for the pronunciation, theory of reasoned action. And so in this reasoned action theory, there was already this understanding of looking at the attitudes a purchaser might have, and then the subjective norms that is placed upon them. And so what Isaac Agens added to this theory was the third aspect of perceived behavior control. And so the attitudes are, what is the subject's disposition towards behavior? And a social norm would be, what is the subject's environmental pressure? So what around them is making them want to act in a certain way. And then the perceived behavior control is how much variance is, or what variance is there in their ability to purchase a green product if that's what they want to do, or there might be a big difference between what they think they might align with their
Professor
beliefs,
Brown, you
but
have to
when
be
they
little
actually go to buy the
fast.
product, they won't.
Your time is a few minutes
Okay.
limited, so please go little.
Yes, yes,
Still
I'm
you are in
almost
the
done.
research approach. We wish to
Yes.
hear from you findings and what is that the main content part.
Okay, well, I'll get into that in a second because yes, so the qualitative data is going to be done through focus groups. So to sort of answer your question of the main part, well, the main part we're waiting for, because in fact, this paper has just been through the abstract. And so it is something that is being completed currently through my studies, and is on the track to being completed. So the real answer to all these important questions is not finalized. So we'll get into that a bit more in a second. And so how to use this critical theory in the research efforts is to go through a focus group strategy. And so we wish to really channel our Generation Z participants into university students, high school students, people that are working in customer service, artisanal practices, or any number of different profiles. And we'll have these questions based on the political, environmental, and social influences of green purchasing behavior. And then with this interdisciplinary approach, we hope to get a more universal look into the answers. So what will happen during these focus groups that have not yet happened? There would be anonymous participation, which would allow the participants to feel free and safe to open up and answer freely of any fear of judgment. There would be varied participant profiles, as I just mentioned, in-person meetings if possible, due to COVID, if not, and a series of questions based on an evolving thematic scheme. And then at the end, an open discussion and a question and answer portion to end off. And then a purchasing log that would be handed to each participant to mark down what behaviors are being carried out or not. And so the next steps are finalizing the questionnaire. Like I said, it's not complete. And strategizing the outreach to the ideal participant profiles, the methodology refining, and setting an analytical lens in more detail. And so